This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love this.
So that was my client's first reaction to this website that I made for her. I will show you how to make a beautiful website like this, and it will be super easy because we'll do everything step by step together. And as you can see, you can use these steps to build any type of website that you want for any industry you want. All you need to do is follow the process from this video. And the final result will look amazing. Just look at all these examples that we made using the exact same steps that I'm about to show you. This is a barbershop website example where we highlight the services that are offered and then a client review and some more information about the business itself. Finally, at the bottom, we have a quick call to action. And we also have this personal trainer example where again we have the services and then a review and a quick about section. You can use a structure like this or you can do something completely different and you'll be able to make all of these websites and more. We will learn many things, but let me show you some highlights. You're gonna learn how to make a completely new section like this from scratch by taking inspiration from another website that you like. Then at the top of our site, we will have our main pages over here inside our menu. The most special page here is this contact page. I will show you how to design a beautiful contact form like this, where customers can get in touch with you. Then we're gonna take this form and we're gonna transform it into an even more modern and professional design that's gonna make your website stand out. Then you'll also learn how to insert an interactive map like this that your visitors can use to easily find and get directions to your physical location. Finally, of course, your website will look amazing on all devices, including tablets and mobile phones. You'll be able to use this to make a website for yourself or to make a website for your clients. And this tutorial will be super easy to follow even if you are a complete beginner. So to make a website like this, you're gonna need three main things. First, you're gonna need a domain name, and this is simply your website's name. So for example, Google has the domain name google.com, and you could have the domain name yoursite.com. You can have any name that you want, as long as it's not already taken by somebody else. Next up, the second thing that you're gonna need is hosting, and this right here is your hosting. It's a powerful computer with very fast internet that stays online 24/7. When you get hosting, you rent a bit of space on this supercomputer to store all of your website's files on it, like all of your images and text. Then, when someone types in your website's name, they are sending a request to your hosting, and the hosting replies back with everything that you have on your site. So, if you didn't have hosting, then your website would show up empty. This is why no website can exist on the internet without hosting. Also, it's easy to make a mistake here and get poor hosting that will make your website load slowly. But I'll show you how to avoid that in just a minute. Then finally, the last thing that we're gonna need is WordPress. WordPress is by far the best way to build a website, and it's even used by huge companies like Microsoft, Forbes, and Sony. It allows you to design your website in a visual way, like this, instead of having to write code. But keep in mind that I'm referring to the WordPress software, and not the website WordPress.com. WordPress.com is a different for-profit company that will enforce a lot of limitations on your site, and they will ask you to buy their $300 per year subscription to remove those limits. So I highly recommend you ignore them. Instead, just follow the steps that I will show you and you will get a much better website for much less money. So how much is all of this going to cost? For the domain, you can only register it on a yearly basis. It usually costs $15 per year. Then for hosting, a good WordPress compatible host costs around $160 per year. But I'll show you how to get a big discount. And if you follow my steps, WordPress will be free. So if you add these up, the total would come up to $175. But with that discount, it will bring it down to just $58 for the whole year. Also, the design itself could cost you thousands if you pay the company to do it. But you're gonna make it yourself by following this tutorial, for free and all while learning an amazing new skill. I think it's worth the investment, so let's begin. The best way to start with your domain and hosting is to get them both from the same place. So just go to chemicloud.com like this and then hit enter. Now, there are thousands of hosting companies out there, but I highly recommend ChemiCloud because they have by far the best customer reviews that I've seen. Their customer support is amazing, and they will go above and beyond to help you if you run into any issues. I also got the best loading speed for my sites when I moved them over to ChemiCloud. This is important because fast websites rank higher in Google. And ChemiCloud will allow us to install WordPress with a single click, which will make our job much easier. So first you want to go up here to Services and then select WordPress Hosting. Then down here we can see that their prices start at $2.95 per month. But let me show you a little trick. If we go up here, we can remove this WordPress hosting and instead we can put in Maker, like this. Then just hit enter. And you'll see that the biggest discount is now unlocked and the starting price is much lower than before. We do get a commission for recommending ChemiCloud because after trying them out, I was super impressed with their speed. So I asked them to partner up with our YouTube channel. They agreed and they offered to give our viewers this exclusive discount. So next we can scroll down and you will see that there are 3 different options. I recommend choosing this first option if you're trying to build a single new website. The second option will allow you to build more than one website on the same hosting account. So you can have your first website.com and your second website.com for much cheaper. Then with this third option, you will get even more space and an even faster loading speed. This is what I use for my own sites, and you should also consider this if you have many visitors or if you want the best possible speed. But for most new sites, the first option will be more than enough. Your site will still load fast and you'll have plenty of space for a single website. And you can always upgrade later. So I'll choose this one and I will click Order Now. Next we have 2 options. If you already have a domain name or a website that you made before, you can click I already have a domain. Then you'd write your existing site here and you can super easily move it to ChemiCloud. You can even have their team do all of the moving work for you for free. But I will want to create a completely new website, so I'll go to Register a New Domain. And I can put in my website name here. Let's call it Learn to Make a Site. And then you can choose the extension that you want. There are many options here, but usually .com is by far the best one. So let's go with .com and then click Check. It tells us that our domain name is available for registration, so we can add it to our cart. Then just click Continue. We will choose our billing cycle at the next step, so we can ignore this for now. Just scroll down to this server location. It's usually best to choose a location that is closest to where most of your visitors are. So if your visitors are mostly in the US, then choose one of these first 3 options. Or if they're from India and countries closer to India, then choose Mumbai. Don't overthink this because it won't really matter that much. I'll show you how to make your site load super fast all around the world. And I'm from Europe, so I'll simply choose Germany. Then scroll down and you'll be offered some add-ons. But you can get all of this for free later on by using WordPress plugins. So just save your money and leave them all unchecked. Then just click Continue. Next, it asks if we want domain privacy protection. If you're from Europe or the UK, then the GDPR law already protects you, so this is completely useless to you. But if you're from the US or another country, then I highly recommend that you get this, because otherwise people can look up your domain name to find your contact information, and they might use it to send annoying sales calls and emails. Again, I'm from Europe, which means I don't need this, so I can simply click Continue. And now we can choose our billing cycle. Just click right here, and there are 3 options. You could pay monthly, but this is much more expensive in the long run. So what I like to do is choose this yearly option. Then down here for the promo code, make sure that you put in Maker if it's not already in there. This is the biggest code that you can get, so just click Validate. Now it applied the best available discount on everything that's inside your cart. And you should also check out the price that they offer for the 3-year plan, because usually this is super good value for money. As you can see, we can get 3 years for the price of 1.5 years. This is because if you go with the 3-year plan, then ChemiCloud will pay the domain name for you for the first year, so you'll save an additional $16 this way. If you're committed to having your website for the long run, you should definitely consider this option. But for our demo website, I'll just go with the yearly plan. Then scroll down and we will need to put in our account information. So I'll just quickly fill in my name, phone number and address. And then I will choose a password and a security question. Make sure that you remember these for later. Then again scroll down and we can choose to pay by card or PayPal. I'm gonna go with card and I'll just fill in my card details. Now we can scroll down and I'm gonna opt out of these promotional emails. Then on the right side we can agree to the terms of service. So we're gonna get our domain name and 1 year of hosting for a total of about $58. This price can be slightly higher or lower for you, but anywhere around $60 is an amazing deal for quality hosting. So let's just click checkout. And you'll get this message that your order was placed. So now you can exit out of here and you can open up your email inbox. Because you will get a few emails from ChemiCloud. You should look to see if you get this one that says verification of your domains is required. If you got this email, then you should open it and then click the link inside to activate your new domain name. If you didn't get that email, then don't worry, your domain should already be activated. And with that, we have our hosting account ready. So whenever you want to log into your hosting, just go to chemicloud.com/login, like this. Then put in your email address and password that you chose earlier, and then click Login. Once inside your ChemiCloud account, you'll be ready to install WordPress. So down here, just click this icon that says App Installer. Then for WordPress, click Install. Now we can change the settings for our WordPress installation. Up here, make sure that you have HTTPS selected and that the name of your website is selected over here. For this directory field, we will want to leave it blank. And this version on the right side will always be the latest version, so just leave it as it is. Further down, we can change the name and description of our website, but I will show you how to do this in a much better place later, so we will leave it as it is for now. The important part here is your admin account, so just put in a username, a password and your email address. And make sure that you remember this for later. Then we can scroll down and if you want, you can change your language right here. But you can also change it later, so I recommend that you keep it in English for now. Let's just scroll down and we can simply click Install. It will take about a minute for WordPress to install and I will speed this up with the magic of video editing. And congratulations, it says that we can now visit our new website. So we can click on it and unfortunately we get this error. If you also get this error, then don't worry. This happens because we just registered our new domain name. It can take anywhere between 10 minutes to up to 48 hours for our name to spread all around the internet. But most of the time it takes less than half an hour, so I'll just close this and I will take a quick break. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes and I can try again. Let's click our website and now it works. Perfect. If you got to this point, congratulations! Your new website is now officially live on the internet. And don't worry about the design of your website right now, even if yours looks different from mine. We won't use this default design anyway. I'm gonna show you how to make your own design later and it's gonna look much better than this. Now we can close all of the other tabs because we won't need them anymore. From now on, we will work strictly on our new website that we've just created. And the first thing we need to do is to log in. To do this, we just need to put in our website.com and then write /admin like this. Then put in your username and password from earlier and then click Login. And now we are inside our WordPress dashboard. Only you as an admin of this website can see this dashboard, because otherwise it is private. And to see the public part of your website, just click your website name up here. So now we got back to our homepage. But as you can see, we still have this admin bar on top. Once again, this admin bar is also private. It is only for you to see and use when you are logged in as an admin. Normal website visitors won't be able to see it. And again, just simply click your website name to get back to the dashboard. From this dashboard, we'll be able to control every single thing about our site, like all of its settings and design. And the best place to start is by understanding what these plugins are right here. Plugins on WordPress are like the apps that you have on your phone. For example, when you buy a new phone, you can make calls and send texts, but you can't call for an Uber. You need to install a new app for that. It's the same thing with WordPress. When you install it, you get a super basic, simple website. And you won't be able to have a contact form, for example, on your contact page. You'll need to install a plugin first. And just like your phone, WordPress came with these pre-installed plugins that we don't need. So let's delete them to keep everything clean. For this first plugin, I'll just click delete and then confirm. And for the other one, again delete and then confirm. Perfect, now let's go up here to our posts, and these would be your blog posts if you wanted to have a blog on your site. But we won't need this sample blog post that came with WordPress, so we can click trash, then up here open up the trash, and then empty the trash. Finally, let's open up our pages over here, and these will be the main pages of your website, like your homepage and your contact page. But we don't need these two default pages because we will make our own pages later. So we can again send them both to the trash, then just open up the trash and click empty trash. So now we are finished with our cleanup and we are ready to start together completely from scratch with a fully clean and fresh WordPress website. The first thing we want to do is change our website's main settings. So on the left, just click Settings. In here, you can update your website's title and the tagline, which is like a short description. So for example, I will put in make a website and for the tagline, step-by-step guide using WordPress. I will show you why these two are important in just a minute. But for now, further down you can change other things like your admin email, the site's language, your time zone, as well as other general settings. You can always come here later and change those, but let's leave them as they are for now. We just want to click Save Changes. Now let's visit our website, and as you can see, we have our new name up here, Make a Website. And we also have it in our Websites tab. This name and tagline will also show up in search engines like Google when people find your site. So that's why it's super important to update it. And with that done, we can go back to our dashboard. And next, many people ask, hey, how do I keep my website private while I work on it? Because maybe you don't want people to randomly discover your website before it's completely ready. The way you can do that is with the help of a new plugin. So we can simply go to Plugins and then click Add New Plugin. Now up here on the top right, we can search for the plugin that we want. I will put in Password Protected and we want this one over here. Just click Install Now and then activate it. We can skip this. And now we can set a password that will be required to view our website. So I'll just type in mine and then type it again to confirm it. Then click this box to enable our password and I will also allow administrators. Scroll down and we can click Save Changes. We got this confirmation up here that our password is now enabled. Now if we visit our website, we will still be able to see it. This is because we are still logged in as an admin. But if you try to visit the website on your phone or on another computer, you will see that it asks you for that password that you've just set. So right now our website is completely private and it will stay that way until we are ready to launch. Next, there's one more super important thing, and that is making a website backup. After you have a backup, then you can start making any change that you want to your site, and you won't have to worry that you might make a mistake. So again, we will go to Plugins, Add New Plugin. And this time we will want to search for Backup. The one with the best reviews is this one called Updraft Plus. So let's install it and then click Activate. We can close this and now under the Settings menu you can find this Backups tab. So click it and then we can ignore these messages. We just want to click Backup Now and again click Backup Now to confirm. Wait for it to load and at the end you will get this confirmation message. Now we can scroll down and you'll see your backup down here. So if at any point you want to restore this exact version of your website that you have right now, just come back here and click Restore. And you can also keep making new backups as you make progress on your site to keep saving your work as you go. Perfect, so now we can make any changes to our site with full peace of mind. And we are ready to make our design. By far the best way to start your design is again with the help of a new plugin. So just go to Plugins and Add New Plugin. And this time up here we will want to look for Starter. We want to install this Starter Templates plugin that has amazing reviews. This plugin will allow you to choose a beautiful design that you can use as a starting point. It will make building your website super fast and easy. So let's activate it. And right away it asks which page builder we want to use. Elementor is the best and most popular one, so just choose Elementor. And now we can see all of the designs that we can start from. We have hundreds of options in here that we can use as our starting point. They look beautiful and most of them are completely free. So for example, we could go up here to these categories and let's say that we want to see templates for a hotel or travel website. We can scroll down and I think that I really like this mount in one. We can click it, then we can click this arrow here to hide the sidebar. Now we can scroll through this template to see the whole design in its full size. You will also be able to mix and match all of these different designs into your own website. So if you like a specific section from here and another section from some other design, then you'll be able to mix them both on your own site. For now, we can open up the sidebar again and let's exit out of this design so that we're able to see other options. Because for now, I recommend that you choose the same design that I will choose. So in this search bar, I will put in Hope. And it's this one right here. I've made this design myself specifically for this video. It is super well optimized to be the best starting point that you can get. Because as you'll see, this template makes it very easy to change everything about it. So you'll be able to turn this template into any type of website that you want, all while learning everything super fast. And the design itself is simple and beautiful. I've even included some tips and tricks over here to try and help you out as much as possible while you're making your website. And for now, we don't want to change anything in here. Just click skip and continue. Next, we can test some different color schemes for this design. You can try out some of the options here, but I will also show you how to change your colors later. So just leave the default ones for now, and down here we will click continue. Then you don't need to worry about any of this, just click submit and build my website. It will take about a minute for the design to be imported, and then we get this confirmation message. So we can just click view your website. And this is the result. Our plugin imported all of these images and text, all of these buttons, and this whole design. It has also imported the 4 pages that we can see up here in our website's menu. And on the contact page, it imported this contact form that visitors can use to get in touch with you. All of this happened automatically and it saved us hours and hours of work. Like I said, you'll be able to turn this into any type of website that you want. Because now that we have this amazing starting point, we are ready to begin editing it. So we can close the other tab because we no longer need it. And the smartest way to start is by changing our global design settings. To do that, we can just go up here and click Customize. Then on the left, we can choose Global and go to Colors. Now this is the global color palette of your website. So you can assign some colors here that you plan to use throughout your design. It's smart to set up your colors at the start because this will save you a lot of time later. So to show you an example, on the right side I will open up the contact page. And down here we have this Send Now button for our contact form. The color of this button is taken from color number 1 in our palette right here. So we can click this and we can change it to something else, like a blue color for example. We can see that the button becomes blue, but if we mouse over it, it becomes green again. And that's because when we mouse over it, it takes on color number 2 in our palette. So let's change this one as well and we will make it a different kind of blue. And now we can see that change when we mouse over our button. These first 2 colors in our palette are the most important because they control the color of this button. The rest of the colors on our site can easily be changed later, so we don't need to worry about them right now. For me, I'll just reset my colors back to the way they were, but this is where you can change them for your own website if you want. This will make much more sense when we start editing our design, so don't worry too much about it for now. And after you're done with your changes, just click Publish up here to save them. Then we can click this X to go back to our homepage. And now it's time for the fun part, which is actually editing the design of our pages. To start editing a page, all you need to do is click Edit with Elementor up here. Wait for it to load and then we can close this navigator because it's in the way. So this is Elementor, our visual page builder. It can look confusing at first, but we will make it super easy. We won't even need most of these things, so let's focus on what's important. On the right side, we have our design, and we can click any element inside it. Like for example, we can click this text. Now our text is selected, and on the left side, we can change its settings. So for example, I can put in Learn to make a website. And in the same way, we can change anything else that's on our page. Just click any element on the right side, and then edit it on the left side. The best way to learn is by doing, and we will learn everything that you need by customizing this design together. So to start, let's change this big background image up here. We just need to click these 6 dots on top to select this whole section. And on the left, we will want to open up this Style tab. We see our image right here and we can click it to change it. So now we can upload an image from our own computer. You can upload your own image here, or you can find amazing and free-to-use images on websites such as pixabay.com and pexels.com. But I've already prepared some images for us to use, so I'll just click Select Files. And I'll go to this Make a Website folder that you can download yourself from the description of this video. So just download this folder on your own computer and use the same images as me while learning. I will open up these images, and then I want to select this Home-1 image. Now we have it into our website and we can click Select to insert it. So just like that, we've changed our big background image. Now we can adjust its settings. For example, over here we can change this position. So if instead of center you select top center, you will notice that our image has shifted up slightly and we can see more of the sky up here. We can see that better if we click this side arrow, which allows us to see the website in its full size. So now our logo and menu are placed over the sky at the top. I think this looks beautiful, so let's click the arrow again and let's finish with our text. And first, I want to add some more lines of text in here. To add something new to our page, just go to this button on the top left. Click it and it will open up all of these elements that we can drag into our site. For example, if you want to drag in a button, we can grab a button element like this and then we can drop it wherever we want it. After that, we can adjust its settings. For example, we can align it in the center. Or to add some text, we can go back to our elements up here, then grab this heading element and drop it right where you want it. Now we can go to the Style tab and we can change the text color right here. You can make it any color that you want by just dragging around these sliders. And for me, I will make it white. Or if you ever change your mind, you can always right-click whatever you added, like this text, and then you can select Delete to remove it. So it's super easy to add and remove things from your page. But let me show you a little trick. Instead of adding a completely new heading, we can simply right-click our text that we already have, and we can click Duplicate. So now we have two bits of text that look identical. And I will again right-click it and duplicate one more time because I want 3 lines of text in total. Perfect. Now I will select the first bit of text and I will simply have it say WordPress. Then we can go to the Style tab to change how it looks. I will open up these typography settings and this is where you can change the font of your text. There are thousands of fonts that you can choose from, but I will search for the one called Damien. And for the size, you can drag this to make your text bigger or smaller. And I think about 140 pixels is perfect. Next, down here you have this line height, which is like how much space you want around your text. You can again drag it to make it bigger or smaller, and I will put in 120 pixels. Now we can click out of typography, and we can click this text shadow to enable it. It's a little hard to see, but this shadow makes our text a bit easier to read. So now let's select our second line of text, and again we will go to the Style tab. Open up the typography settings, and for this one I will want a size of 46 pixels, and a line height of 38. We can click out of this, and again I will enable that text shadow. For the third line of text, I will want it to look identical to the second one. So I can right-click this one, and I can select Copy. Then I can right-click the last line, and I can select Paste Style. This is a super cool trick that will save you a lot of time while designing. And finally, the last thing to do is to change this text. I will write in step by step. So now we have Learn to make a website step by step. That looks nearly perfect, but there's one more thing. Our background photo here is really bright, so the white text is still a little hard to read. To improve that, you can select the big section by clicking the 6 dots. And from the Style tab, we can go down here to this background overlay. We have this opacity setting and we can drag it like this to make our background darker. Or maybe we want it a little bit lighter. For my photo, I think 0.25 is perfect. And if you ever change your mind about anything that you do in Elementor, you can simply press Ctrl-Z on Windows or Command-Z on a Mac. This will undo any changes that you made, one change at a time. And you can press Ctrl-Shift-Z or Command-Shift-Z to redo your changes one by one. So now we can use this trick to see a before and after of our darker background. And now you know how to undo and redo your changes. You will see that this will keep coming in handy while you're working on your design. The next thing you should know here is how to adjust the size and spacing of this section. So click the 6 dots to make sure you have the section selected, and we can go to the Layout tab. Over here you can adjust the width and the height of your whole section. For example, if you want it to be smaller, you can drag this like so, but I will leave it the way it was. You can also use these buttons to align your content vertically, so you can have it at the top, at the bottom, or in the middle. Then we can use these other buttons for the horizontal alignment. You can align your elements on the left, on the right, or in the center. And if you want to have even more control over the exact position of your content, you can go to the Advanced tab. Over here you have this padding setting, which allows you to add space wherever you want. For example, if we increase the padding on the right side, we add this space over here. And if we increase the padding on the top side, we add this space over here on top of our elements. I will set my top padding at 200, and for the right padding I will leave it at 20. So this is how you can position your elements exactly where you want them. And with that, we can click Update down here to save all of the changes that we've made so far. And we can click this arrow to preview our design in its full size. I think it's looking beautiful, and we are done editing this section for now. Next, let's talk about the structure of this whole page. Like you've seen, the first box up here is known as a section. And also below it we have another section with these 3 services that we offer. So this over here is the second section on our page. This whole page and your whole website in general is made up of all of these different sections. They are like big boxes that contain all of your elements inside them, like your images, your text, and your buttons. What's super cool about Elementor is that it allows us to easily change and reorder any of these sections. For example, let's say that we want to move this About section. Just go to the 6 dots, then click, hold, and drag it towards the top of the page. And we can drop it anywhere we want. Let's also grab this Services section and click, hold, and drag it to move it to the bottom. So just like that, we've reordered our page. Now we have some information about us first, then we have our review, and finally our services are the last. It's also super easy to delete a whole section. For example, let's say that you don't want this review here. You can simply click this X to delete the whole thing. And you already know how to edit all of these images and all of this text. It's the same as before, just click any element and then you'll be able to edit it on the left. I've even left some tips here that will hopefully give you some ideas while you edit this for your own website. Alright, but let's say that you don't just want to edit this design. Maybe you want to add something that's completely different. Let's make something completely new right now. And perhaps we can make something to replace that review section that we had. The best way to make something new is to first take inspiration from existing websites that you like, and then you can add your own touch to it. For example, I will open up starbucks.com, but you can also do this with any other website. I just really like the premium feel of the Starbucks design. You can also search on Google for websites in your industry, and you will find lots and lots of inspiration. But for us, let's say that we want to make a design like this on our own website. As you can see, this right here is a section, and it is separated into 2 containers. This left side container has this big image, and the right side container has this text and the button. Then for the next section here, they move the text to the left and the image to the right. So let's see how we can build a design like this ourselves on our own website. First, we will want to add a new section. So we can scroll down and we will click this plus icon. Then you need to select the structure that you want. And like we've seen, we want a design made up of 2 containers, just like Starbucks had. So now we have our new section and it's split into the left side container and the right side container. To begin, let's first make our section bigger right here. I will make it about 420 pixels. After this, Starbucks had a big background image on the left side. So we can click this icon to select our left side container. Then we can go to Style, and for this background type we can select Classic. So now we can add our image right here. I'll go to Upload Files, select Files, and we can just select both of these 2 images and click Open to upload them. I'll choose this one for my container and then click Select. Now we have it right here, but it's very zoomed in. To fix this, we can change this display size to Cover. And for the position, I will set it to Center Center to focus in on the middle of the image. Now we can select the other container and from its options go to Style and again Classic Background Type. This time we will want to give it a color and we will want to choose some sort of dark green. Or I can put in my color code here because I already know that I want this specific color. Now all that's left to do is to drag in the elements that we want for this container. So let's open up the elements and just like Starbucks, I will drag in a heading for the title, then go back and drag in a text editor element for the paragraph, and finally go back and I will drag in a button. On the left, I can center this button and then we can move on to the text. I will open up its style settings and I will center it. Then for the color, I want to set it to white. Finally, let's select this title and again let's center it. Then go to Style and for its color, again just set it to white. And now you already know how to put in your own text, so I'm just gonna write in mine. I'll just put in make a beautiful design and then write some more text below it. Next, this heading text is a little too big, so I will go to Style and Typography, then I will set its size to 42 pixels. Then we can select this right side container by clicking its icon up here, and I will go to the Layout tab, and for the vertical alignment I will set it to the center. And this is starting to look a lot like the Starbucks example. The only thing left for us to do is to edit this button. So let's select it and we can put in Learn for free. Then for the link, we can say where we want this button to take us. For example, if you write in google.com, then this button will take you to Google's website. Or you can type in any other page that you have on your site. For example, we can type in Contact, and it will find your contact page right here. Just click it and now we have the link to our contact page in here. So whenever someone clicks this button, they will be taken to our contact page. Now let's move on to its style settings. In here we have the color that we want for our button. So for example, you can make your button red if you want. Or you could drag this transparency bar down here and you can make it fully transparent, which is exactly what Starbucks did. Next up, we have this border type and we can change it to a solid border. Then we need to say how thick we want our border to be, and I will make it 2 pixels. We can also change the color of this border down here, and I will want to make it white. Next, we can adjust this border radius to make the corners of our button more round or more square. I think about 24 pixels looks perfect. Finally, down here, we can use this padding to say how big we want our button to be. First, I will click this to unlink these values, and I will want my size to be 12 at the top and at the bottom, and I'll put in 32 for right and 32 for left. Now let's go back up and let's check out this hover tab. This controls how the button looks when we hover our mouse over it. So for this color, we can make it into that theme color 2 that we set in our global palette. Now we can see that effect when we mouse over our button. And as you can see, this is exactly the same that Starbucks has on their own site. In fact, our whole new section looks inspired by the layout of Starbucks, but we've added our own personal touch to it. And of course, we've used Starbucks as our example, but you can follow the same idea to take inspiration from any other website that you like. So let's close the Starbucks tab, and from here we can do a lot of cool things to make this new design even better, and to make it our own. First, for my button, I also like to change this border color, and I will make it that same green from our palette. So now the border also becomes green when we mouse over it. I think that's an improvement. Now I will drag this new section higher up because I want it in place of that review section that we removed earlier. Then from the advanced settings, I will want to change this padding. By default, our new section has some space on top and on bottom, and I want to make it 0. Then I can right click the 6 dots and let's duplicate it. So we have another one right below. Now we can drag this image container and we can drop it on the right side to switch our containers around. Then we could change this image to the other one that we uploaded earlier. And just like that, you get this beautiful grid design that's inspired by Starbucks. And you can keep duplicating these sections to keep adding more content here if you want. But for me, I will only use this first section, so I can delete the other one. And next, I think this whole design will look even better if we make it bigger. So let's select our section, then just go to Layout, and you can drag this width here to make your section bigger or smaller. Or if you want it to take up all of the available space on the page, just set it to full width up here. Then we can adjust this height, and I will make mine about 550 pixels. The last thing I want to do is improve the spacing for this text. So let's select the right side container, then go to Advanced, unlink this padding, and let's add some more space to the right and left. I think about 90 pixels on each side. Now we can click update to save our changes, and we can see the final result in its full size. So we've replaced our old reviews section with this new Starbucks inspired design. We've created it in only a few minutes, and I think it looks amazing. In fact, this whole page is nearly finished, but this button here reminds me that I need to show you one more thing. Because in our first section, we didn't yet configure this button up here. So let's expand our settings, then select the button, and you could use the link field just like before to link it to your services page, for example. But I want to do something a little more special. Whenever someone clicks this button, I want it to automatically scroll down to another section that's further down the page. Like for example, this About section here. So I can click the 6 dots for the About section because I want to link to it. Then I can go to Advanced, and down here I can use this CSS ID field to give it a name. So I'll simply name it About. Then I'll go back up to my button, and for the link I can first put in a hashtag, and then add the name of the section I just edited. So I'll put in About. So we have hashtag About. Now let's preview the page. I'll go to the Get Started button and I will click it. And as you can see, whenever someone clicks this button, it will automatically scroll down to this About Us section. I think this effect is really cool. So now let's go back and let's click Update to save our changes. Now our homepage is looking amazing on a computer or a laptop, but I've just checked it on my phone and I've noticed some problems. It's really important for your site to also look great on mobile devices. Because in 2024, statistically speaking, over half of your visitors will see your website on a mobile phone. And our mobile design is super easy to fix. Down here on the bottom left, just click this small icon that says Responsive Mode. Then up here, we can switch between the computer, tablet and mobile versions of our site. Very few people use tablets, so we don't care about that as much. But desktop and mobile are both super important. So let's go to mobile, and this is the version of our site that you would see on a phone. The first problem here is that this text is way too small, so we can click it, and then we can go to Style and open up Typography. In here, we can see that this size setting has this little icon next to it. Wherever you see this icon, it means that we can change this setting separately for desktop, tablet and mobile. So for mobile, I will change its size and I want to make it 66. Then for this line height, make sure that you have pixels selected in here, and I will set it to 61. Then for the text below, I will again go to Style and Typography, and for the size, I will make it 24 pixels. Then for the line height, I will make it 15 pixels. Now I want to repeat the same for this third line of text. The size should be 24, select pixels down here and make it 15. Now let's edit the button. We can go to Advanced and I will unlink these padding values. Then I want to add 8 pixels of space at the top of our button. So now we've changed how this first section looks, but only for the mobile version of our site. Let's keep going and you'll notice that my name here is grayed out. We can click it and then go to Advanced. Then down here we will open up these responsive settings. As you can see, this heading element is hidden on both tablet and mobile. So we could show it on mobile, and now it's no longer grayed out. I like to leave it hidden, but this is where you can change that if you want. And further down, everything is looking great until we get to this section here. So first let's select the container for this image. We can go to Layout, and we can make it about 300 pixels tall. Then we can select the text container, and from Advanced I will unlink these padding values. Then I want to make the padding 50, 25, 50, 25. And now this design is looking much better. The last thing you should know for mobile is that you can select this whole section. Then for this direction we can choose reversed like this. So now you have your text first and your image second. I want to go back to how it was, but this is where you can change that. So now we can go through the rest of the page and everything else is looking perfect. Because this template that we used was already made to be mobile friendly from the start. So everything here is looking great, and you can follow the same process if you want to change your design for tablet. But for us, we just want to click Update to save our changes. And now we can go up here and let's just visit our homepage. I think this design is looking absolutely beautiful so far. Next, I want to show you something that's gonna make it super easy to build the rest of your pages. So to edit the About page, we can just click on it and then go to Edit with Elementor. So now you can edit all of these sections, images, and text, just like we've learned on our homepage. But I want to show you something new that's super useful. Let's say that you want to add a completely new section to this page quickly. What you can do is you can press this S icon down here, and you can open up these blocks. You'll find a collection of ready-made sections that you can simply import into your page with one click. And there are hundreds of designs that you can choose from. For example, I will select this one that we could use to show our team members. We can see it in full size and we can simply click Import Block. Now we have that section into our site and we can easily edit it. For example, I will write team members up here. And you can change these images, you can add colors, you can do anything you want with it. For me, I will drag this new section further up on my page and I will drop it over here. And maybe we no longer want this text here. Now we can preview our page and I think it looks great. And it took us less than a minute to add this completely new section to our page. This technique will save you hours and hours of time while building your design. So let's click Update to save our changes and let's go back and visit our homepage. Now we can move on to editing the next page. So just open up Services from our menu and again we can edit with Elementor. You can use this page to display your main services and at the end you can have a call to action for them to contact you. But let's say that you want to add another section with answers to some frequently asked questions. Or maybe you want a new section to show some more services. We can again go down and click this S, then go to Blocks, and on the top left you can also filter these by whatever category you need. Or what I like to do is just go here to this search bar and we can search for services, for example. So you could maybe use one of these blocks to add more services to your page. Or maybe we should try looking for some frequently asked questions. I can just search for FAQ. And I think I really like this one up here, so let's click it. Then we can import it. Now we have our frequently asked questions and we can click to edit them. Then you can open up these fields and you can put in your own questions like this. After that, we can go to the style settings and I will open up this title. I want to change its color and I will select this first green from our color palette. And that looks perfect, so now we can drag this section up and I will place it just above our call to action. Now I will go to advanced and maybe I will give it a little less space on top, let's say about 30 pixels. Now we can preview it and we have this beautiful accordion style FAQ section. It was super easy to build and I think it looks great. So let's update to save our changes and once again we can just return back to our website's homepage. The last page left is probably the most important page on your whole site because this contact page will likely get you the most business from potential clients. So let's edit with Elementor and first let's scroll all the way down because you should of course put in your own contact information here. For example, I can edit the email address and I will put in my own email. Then for the social media buttons, you can click them. Then you can easily drag them like this to reorder them. So I'll click the YouTube one and in here I can put in the link to our YouTube channel. So now when someone clicks this, they will be taken to our YouTube channel. And over on the right, you can put in some useful information like some directions to your location. Or maybe you don't want all of this text in here at all, so we could simply delete all of it. And instead, we could add a cool and interactive map. So first make sure you open your elements and then we can drag in this Google map. On the left, you can put in your business address right here. Any address or location that works on Google Maps will also work in here. For this zoom setting, I will zoom it out a little and I'll set it to 5. Then for this height, I will make it 400. Now we can go to style and we can open up these filters. I will tone this saturation down to about 70. And now this is starting to look good. I think I want to go to advanced and then scroll down to these border settings right here. We can use this border radius to make our corners more round. And I will set them to 12 pixels. So just like that, we've inserted this beautiful map over on the right side. And visitors can move it around, they can easily zoom in and zoom out, or they can get GPS directions to your location with just one click here. Now there's one last thing that's completely new on this page, and that's this contact form up here. We can click to edit it, and customizing this form is a little different. First, we need to click Edit Selected Form. And now on the right side, you have the different fields from your form. And on the left, you have different types of fields that you can add. For example, we can drag this text field under our phone field. Now we can select it, and on the left, we can edit it. In here, we could type in your address, for example. And you can make this field required so that they have to fill it in before sending. Then we can go to Advanced, and you'll notice that our new field is only about half as big as our other ones. I want it to be equally big, so for this field size, we can select Large. And for this placeholder text, I will also type in your address. Then I want to enable this Hide Label option so that the address text doesn't show twice. Now we can save our changes, and we can close this. So now we can see that address field in here that we've just added. And if you change your mind, it's super easy to delete any of these fields that you don't want. Just go back to editing your form, and I won't keep this address one, so just mouse over it, then click this trash icon and confirm. So this is how you can change all of the fields inside your form. Next, for our form to actually work, we will first need to configure it. So on the left, we can open up these settings, then select Notifications. There are two things that we want to change here. First, in this field, you should put in your own email address where you want to receive the messages that your visitors send. So I will put in my own email. Next, down here, you'll notice that we have this yellow warning. It's telling us that we need to put in an email that is something@yourwebsite.com. So for me, I will need to put in something@learntomakeasite.com. And as you can see, that error is now fixed. And this text before the @ doesn't matter. You can just write anything. This email address doesn't need to be real, so don't worry about it. For me, I'll just put in contact. Perfect, so we can just click Save, and we can exit out of this. Now this form is super simple, and it works. We'll come back here in a few minutes to test it out, and I will also show you how you can make this form look even better. Because like I said, I think that this form is super important for your website. So we'll do all of that a bit later, but for now, let's just click Update to save our changes. And let's go back to the homepage of our website. So now we've learned how to edit all of the pages from our menu. But what if you want to add a completely new page? Like maybe you want a separate page for your projects, a page for your prices, or any other type of page. It's super fast and easy to add a new page in here. Just go back to the dashboard, then we can open up our pages. In here, we can see the 4 pages that we have so far on our site. To add a new page, just click Add New Page. I will open it in a new tab. Now we can close this message, and first we will write in a title for our new page. For example, I will call this one Testimonials. Then at the top right, we have these two types of settings. We have Normal Settings and Astra Settings. Click the Astra Settings, and down here open up Advanced. We will want to set this transparent header to enabled, because otherwise our menu won't show correctly. Then we can return to post and click Publish to create our new page. Then click Publish again. And we can go to Edit with Elementor to start editing our new page. Now there are a few different ways to do this. First, we could add a new section, and then we can drag in some elements like this to build it from scratch, just like we've done with our Starbucks design. But there are 2 other ways to build this new page that are much smarter and faster. So I will delete this section and I will go back to my Pages tab. Then for my Services page, I will click Edit with Elementor. What we can do now is we can right-click these 6 dots for the first section and select Copy. Then go back to our page and we can right-click inside this box and select Paste. So now we've copied that section and we can simply edit it. I'll just type in Testimonials. Then I'll go back to my services and I'll scroll all the way down because I also want to copy this final section here. And back on our new page, we can again paste it. Perfect, so now we have our first and last sections and we only need some testimonials in the middle. So I'll go back to my other tab and I'll go back to my pages. Then for the About page, I'll click Edit with Elementor. On this About page, down here at the end, we already have this testimonial. So let's copy it just like before, then go back and paste it inside our new page. Now we can drag this up and just move it in the middle. This already looks great, but I won't need this button, so I can just right click and delete it. Then I want to select my section and go to Advanced, And for this bottom padding right here, I want to set it to just 70. Now we are ready to right click our section and we can duplicate it as many times as we need. I think I want 3 reviews in total, so I'm gonna duplicate it 2 more times. Then select the first testimonial, go to Style and open up the background overlay. We have that slight green color here and we can click this button to remove it. Then I'll go to my third testimonial, again select it, and go to its style settings, open up background overlay and remove this one as well. Perfect, now let's update to save our changes and let's preview our page. We have this completely new testimonials page with 3 customer reviews. It's looking beautiful and we've created the whole thing in only a couple of minutes. So now we can close this tab, and next I will show you the second way to make a completely new page, and this time it will be even faster. So first let's go back to our dashboard just like before, then open up our pages. And again I will open up Add New Page. And let's say that we need to show some sort of pricing. Then again go to the Astra settings, go to Advanced and enable this transparent header. Then click Return and we can click Publish twice to publish our new page. And now let's edit with Elementor. The fastest way to build this page is to start from an existing design. So we can click this S icon here and we have thousands of pages that we can use as a starting point. Up here we can search for whatever we need. In my case, I will put in pricing. And let's take a look at this one from the online courses template. We can scroll down and I really like this pricing table down here. So let's click Import Template. And just like that, we've imported that whole page and it even automatically adapted to our website's color scheme. It looks great and you just need to edit in your own text and prices. And the first thing you should do is replace this first section up here, because your website will look much better if you keep this the same style as the rest of your pages. So we can go back to our Pages tab and open the About page in Elementor. Then like before, I will copy this first section and back on our new page, scroll all the way down to this gray box and paste it inside here. Now we can take this and we can drag it all the way to the top and drop it here. Then just delete the old section. Finally, for the text, I will write in pricing. And now we can go and click Update to save it. We can preview our page and I think it's looking great. I really like this pricing table that you can easily edit to make it your own. And your whole website is still looking professional because this first section is consistent with the design of your other pages. Perfect, now we can close this tab and let's go back to the homepage of our site. So we've created 2 new pages, but we can't see them up here in our menu yet. Let's see how we can edit this menu. First, we'll go back to our dashboard, and to edit our menu, go to Appearance and then Menus. As you can see, here we have the structure of our menu. We have our homepage, About, Services and Contact. To add a new page, we can simply select it on the left. So I will select our new pages, Pricing and Testimonials, then click Add to Menu. Now I can click this arrow to open up Pricing, and I like to capitalize the letters to keep it the same style as the other pages. Then open up Testimonials and again do the same thing here. Next, we can change the order of these pages. So we can click Pricing, hold and drag it under Services. Then for Testimonials, I will drag it under Pricing. So this will be our new order inside our menu and we can click Save Menu. Now let's open a new tab and let's visit our site. We can see both of our new pages here and we can click them to visit them. But I think that now our menu is looking a little too busy because we have all of these pages inside it. So let's go back to our settings, and for this pricing page we can click it, hold and drag it slightly to the right. This will make it a sub-menu under our services. And we can do the same thing for our testimonials. So now we can again save menu. Let's go back to our website and now we can refresh this page. And our new menu is looking much cleaner, and our 2 new pages are both right here under Services. I really like the way this looks. Next, let's go back to our homepage, and we can close this other tab. So we've changed our menu, but what about this logo on the left and this button on the right with our phone number? How can we edit those? This part up here is known as your website's header. So your logo, your menu and your button are inside your header. I'll show you how to edit this header in a minute, but first we will need the logo to insert here. You can use your own logo if you have one, or I can show you how to make an amazing simple logo right now. Just open a new tab and go to logomaker without the e.com. Then just click Start My Design. My best advice when making your logo is to keep it as simple as you can. Think about the most popular brands in the entire world, like Apple, Nike, or McDonald's. They all have super simple logos that are easy to remember. Even Instagram has changed their logo 3 times to make it more and more simple. This is proof that simple logos work best, and making an amazing simple logo is super easy with Logo Maker. The most important part is this search bar up here. We can click it and we get millions of free-to-use graphics that we can use in our design. And for example, I can type in nature. You can type in anything you need and you'll get hundreds of beautiful suggestions to choose from. And I think I really like this one, so I can click it. And now we have it inside here. Now on the left side, you can add different things to your logo, like some different shapes or some text. I'll choose text, and for example, I can type in logo. Then up here, I will change the font and I will choose this railway bold. Now we can drag these corners to make it bigger and we can move it around to align it. Next I want to select everything, and on the right side you can change the color like this. For me, I want to make it the same green color as the rest of my site. And this is looking pretty good. You can leave in your own text if you want, but for me I will delete it. I just want this simple icon as my final logo. So on the bottom right I can click this icon to crop it, and I will want my image to be a perfect square, let's say about 370 by 370 pixels. Just click this to apply, then I will make my icon as big as possible and I will align it in the center. Now I can go to the top right and click here to save it. We get this preview of our logo, and the easiest way to save this to your computer is to right click it and then click Save Image. I will name this one logo-green and then I will save it. Now I can exit out of this because I want to save another version of my logo. So I will select it and this time I want to make it white. Again click Save, then right click the logo and save it, and I will name this one logo-white. Perfect, now we are finished and we can just close Logo Maker. And we are ready to start editing our header. You just need to click Customize up here, then open up this header builder, and then click Customize Transparent Header. Now we see our logo down here and we can click to change it. Go to Upload Files, select Files, and I will upload both versions of our logo. Then select the white one and click Choose Image. And now we can see our new logo inside our site. If you want to adjust its size, you can find that setting down here. So we can drag this to make it bigger or smaller. I think 55 pixels is perfect. We also have these 3 buttons that we can use to switch between desktop, tablet and mobile. So let's go to tablet, and I think my logo is slightly too big here, so I will make it just 50 pixels. Then go to mobile, and again make it just 50 pixels. Perfect, now we can go back. And editing the rest of your header is super similar to Elementor. We have our logo up here, our menu, and finally our button. And that corresponds to the elements that we have down here. The logo to the left, then the menu, and our button. So if you want to move your menu to the center, you can just click it here and drag it in the middle. And now we get it over here. You can do the same thing to move your other elements as well. But I liked it how it was, so I'll just move it back. Then for this button, if you don't want it, you can simply click this X to remove it. Or if you want to add it back, just click this plus icon and select the button element. Then to edit this button, we can click it, and on the left, we can change its text. For example, I will type in something else. And we can see that change up here. If you want to change it, don't forget to also update the link of your button. But I like to keep mine as the phone number that we had. Next, we can go to this Design tab, and here you can change how your button looks. For example, you could give it a thicker border of 3 pixels. But I'm just gonna leave it the way it was. Alright, now we can click this arrow to go back, and the last thing you should know how to change is the color of this menu. So let's customize transparent header, go to Design, and down here you have some settings for your menu. For example, you can use this to change its color. You can make it any color that you want, but I'm gonna leave it white. So now you know how to edit everything inside your header. Let's click Publish to save our changes. Next, we can scroll up, and I'm gonna click back 2 times to get back to our main menu. And there's one more thing to edit here, because if we scroll all the way down, there is still this final part that we still didn't edit. This section is called the footer, and it contains our menu, logo, and some text. Editing this footer is the same concept as our header. So on the left, just click Footer Builder. And again we see these three elements that correspond to what we have on our site. So if you want to edit this menu, just click it down here, then go to the Design tab to change how it looks. You can change its color over here, but again I'm gonna leave it the way it was. Then for your logo, just click this middle element, and to change it we can click it on the left side. Then just click this Edit button. I can go to Replace over here, and I want to replace it with the green version of my new logo. And again click Replace. So now we have it into our site, but it's way too big. To change its size, again click the Edit icon on the left, and first I will want to align it to the center. Then for the size I will select Custom Size, and I will make it 55 by 55 pixels. Then just click Update, and now we have the green version of our logo in here, and I think it looks beautiful. Finally, you can click this copyright text to change it, and you can type in anything that you want. I'll just write Hope by WP Maker. Also, if you want, you can select some text here like this, and click this icon to add a link. You can put in your homepage or another page, but for me, I will put in a link to our YouTube channel. So when someone clicks this text, they will be taken to our channel. And we can also quickly check mobile, and our logo is also looking great. Then we can have a look at tablet, and this one also looks really good. Perfect, so now we are done, and we can just click Publish to save our changes. Finally, we can change this small site icon that you can see in your websites tab. Just click back twice to return to our main settings, and then click on Site Identity. We want to select Site Icon, and I'll choose this green version of our logo. Just click Select, and then skip cropping. Now we can publish our changes, then we can click this X to get back to our homepage. And now we can see our beautiful new site icon up here. I think it looks great. So at this point, your site is nearly ready to launch. There's one last thing that will make it stand out, and it will get you even more clients. We will take this contact form to the next level. We'll go from the form that we have right now to a much more elegant and professional style. Because this form is the centerpiece of your website, a lot of new customers will use it to get in touch with you for the first time, and we want to make a great first impression. So let's go up here and click Customize, then just scroll down and click Additional CSS. And we won't need this code right here, so we can just remove it. Now open up the folder that I gave you in the description of this video, and then go to Contact. In here I made two different styles that you can use for your contact form. Style 1 will give you this result, and Style 2 will give you this result. It's up to you which one you prefer, but I'll choose Style 1, so I'm gonna open up this file. Then just select all of this text inside it and simply copy it. Then we can close this and close our folder, and back on our site, let's just paste all of that text inside here. That's all that you need to do, so just click Publish to save these changes. And we can click X to get back to our contact page. Let's scroll down, and this is the result. I think that this version looks much cleaner than before, and we can do even more cool things with it. So first let's edit with Elementor, then scroll down and select our contact form. And on the left, edit the form just like before. In here, this message box at the bottom is a little too big. So let's select it, then on the left go to Advanced, and we can change this field size to medium. Now it looks much better. Next, I will go to Add Fields, and I will want to take this checkbox element and I will drag it down here. Then click it to edit it. For this label, I will put in How should we contact you? Then for the first choice, I'll put in email, and for the second choice, I'll put in phone. Then remove the third choice. Next, I will enable this Use Icon Choices, confirm that I want the icons, and then click OK. Now scroll down and select the checkbox field again, and I'll want to replace these icons. For the first one, I'll just click it, and I will choose this envelope icon. And for the second one, I can search for phone, and I will choose this one. Further down, we have some more settings. This icon color doesn't matter, because our icons will automatically adapt to our global colors. Then for this icon size, I will select medium, and for the icon style, I will select modern. Now we can go up here to advanced, and for the layout, I will choose 2 columns like this. Perfect, now let's save, and we can close this. Then inside Elementor, click Update to save our changes. Now we are ready to again visit our contact page. Scroll down and we can see the final result. Let's just quickly test it out. I'll put in my details here and I'll write a short message. What's cool is that your visitor can adjust how big or how small they need this message box to be. And at the end, they can select if they prefer to be contacted by phone or by email. This part is optional and it's up to you if you want it on your website or not. But I think that this whole form is looking super professional and much more elegant than before. So let's click send to test it out. And you'll get this confirmation that your message was sent. Now you can open up your email inbox and you'll find this new message from your website. Inside it, you will find all of the fields that your visitor filled in, including their message right here and their preference to be contacted by email. And you can just click reply to respond to them like you would with any other email. This reply will be sent to their own email address that they've put inside your form. Alright, if you made it all the way here, congratulations! Your website is looking absolutely beautiful and we are ready to launch. Just go back to your dashboard and then go to plugins. We don't need our password protected plugin anymore, so just deactivate it. We can skip over this. And now we can delete it and confirm. You can also go up here to the top right and you can log out of your admin account. Now we can simply visit our website and we will see it like any other visitor would without that admin bar on top. I really hope that this tutorial has helped you make a beautiful website. If you have a friend who needs a website, please share this tutorial with them. And you should watch this video next to make your new site load super fast. Because websites that load fast rank higher in Google. Or you can watch this other video to learn how to make an amazing blog. And don't forget to subscribe for more WordPress tutorials. Also, if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I reply to every single one and I will do my best to help. So I'll see you in the comment section.